Yo, yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet, with episode 38 of Splinterlands 101. And joining us again tonight after 2 week absence of his trek through the wildling infested frozen lands of the north of Victoria, Matt Clark.
Howdy, howdy.
And still with us, and lucky we are, Geo of the Geo Tricks.
Hello, and I'll always be here. I will never leave. You'd have to kill me.
Glad to hear. So we've got a fair bit. I guess, Matt, you've been away for a couple of weeks, so I'd love to hear a little bit about your trek with the wildlings and the others and so forth.
Yeah,
and
great fun.
After that introduction, I'm thinking, people are going to be wondering, well, how come Matt Clark went skiing, but it's Boba Fett wearing a sling? So we might have to address that as well. So yeah, tell us.
Good fun. I took my boys skiing. I realized about 6 months ago that I hadn't, and it's one of my favorite childhood memories. So I just kind of said, hey, let's just do it. And so I sort of looked up the accommodation and booked it within a day. And it's not like me to be that impulsive, but I just went for it and very much enjoyed it. My younger lad, Fletch, he took to it like a duck to water. My older boy is quite a lot taller than he is strong, I guess. He's sort of 12, but he looks like he's 16, 17. So they gave him skis that were a little bit too long. The first couple of days were a little bit iffy, but then we swapped him out for some shorter skis, and he started to improve. So these skis are too long, and it's just really hard to learn and get used to it. So no, great trip. Good to spend some time with my brother and niece and get back out there. And I was 17 last time I skied, so it's been a long hiatus. And just enjoyed some time with the family and the kids. And it's a long drive, 10-hour drive in my brother's Volkswagen van. He and I shared the drive there and back, so 10 hours each way. So that just kept on going and going and going. But back now and happy and ready to join you lads and talk about the game.
So how close did you actually get to Melbourne?
It's about 160 k's. I think we went through Bendigo.
Did you take a detour, or take the long way around, or?
Yeah, wherever Google Maps said this is the way to go, but we did go through a lot of small country towns and the like. But I think the closest I saw was about 160, 150 k's to Melbourne. So happily, I avoided Melbourne.
All right. Yeah. And so back, feet on the ground, and what a week for Splinterlands.
It's been pretty massive.
Yeah. Have they changed the time? Because I'm normally Tuesday mornings I watch the YouTube sort of expedited version type thing, but I listened to it live. It was
9:30 our time. Yeah, it's nice. They try to rotate it around. There's when you think about it, everybody's got, say, a 16-hour window each day when they kind of can be awake, and so sometimes their window and our window align, and we can see them. I think late night for them, early morning for us. But it was often stuff is like this sail for Rudy's going to be 3:30 my time, I think, in the morning, or 3:45 my time, which is just nuts. Really not sure if I'll be getting up for that. Tower defense tomorrow morning I'll do, but
I did it for the Rift watches.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
4 o'clock, and I tell you what, it was so angsty, because I listened to the countdown on show, and Aggie's 5, 4, 3, and it goes 0. Okay, I've hit refresh. And it's okay, here's the buy, and I don't know if it's just Australia's internet. As soon as I hit refresh, it's just spinning. And then they start reading out, it's 1,000 packs, 5,000 packs, 10,000 packs. It's spinning. I go, no. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Come on. And finally, it finished. So I just, as quick as I could, I just typed in 50, smashed the button, and it's spinning. And then and he goes, and we're sold out. It's done. It's over. And mine's still spinning, spinning, spinning. So I hit the refresh button and came up, yep, 50 packs. I was like, sweet, I've got it. But then they're explaining like it went straight from pre-sale into normal sale. I was like, oh shit, did I get it then? And then Matt started on the talk show saying, well, hang on a sec, all these people that just bought quickly and smashed the button but didn't manually do the extra vouchers for the points and stuff. And Aggie says, yeah, no worries. We'll accommodate that, put a ticket in. And then a little bit later, Matt says, and I think we need to extend the period because, it went so quickly. And Aggie's first reaction was like, no, I'm not so inclined to that. Anyone who wanted to get a pack could have got a pack. And then there's a bit of discussion. It's okay, look, we'll look into it. We'll get back to you. So it was an angsty few hours for me. It's like, I didn't know. Was I in or not? Because I checked my account, like history type thing. And it was like 1 minute and 42 seconds or four, I can't remember the 40, because it was 4 a.m. 4:01 and 12 seconds or something, I think it was. And so I just had to just put it out of my mind until Aggie posted in Discord and it says, okay, here's the block number. So straight away onto high block, and I was like just under it. So it's like,
Nice.
yes. Because Gio and I
it's 4 a.m.
went halves.
There's you and like 3 perverts in Australia on the internet at 4 a.m. That's it. Shouldn't be congested.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Gio's got all his shit downloading though while he's in bed sleeping. So
Yeah, see, I'm uploading.
Yeah. So
No, that's good. I see. Rift Watchers, I didn't touch at all. I thought, if I see a card I really love, I'll just max it. I'll just buy it off the market, max it, be done with it.
Yeah.
And I'll let this one go through to the keeper. Just like you were saying, Gio, with TD, you're not going to engage with it. You're just going to let it go. And I think almost as a personal wisdom piece, you kind of got to let some of this stuff go, right? Mm-hmm. You've kind of got to be at peace with that. Otherwise, you just become the degen, the meme. You got any more of that? Like you need to let some of these opportunities go. So Rooney's, I'm really on the fence about. I didn't want to do it, and then I did want to do it, and then it's 3 a.m, and now I don't want to do it again. And but it's a max legendary, but it's dealing with Ethereum. But I'm all set up, right? I got the vouchers, I got the MetaMask wallet. I could do it. So yeah, I don't know. Is this a wisdom piece where I let it go through, or is it something that I just engage with? I don't know.
Yeah, it's exclusivity, right? And people love that shit. So.
And it's funny because Gio and I talked about it like for like a whole week leading up, and we both decided we're not going to buy packs. We're just going to get the cards. But it was like the day before, because after the surgery and stuff. Mobility, Gio came over, picked me up, take me do some shopping, and so we're sitting in the coffee shop and we're talking about it, and we're just like, and it's like, 50 packs for the promo card, right? And it's like, because I mean, I still haven't got a airdrop card yet, still haven't. So I'm hoping for Jacek maybe. Just the odds, surely, like it's got to be my favorite at some point. And then we sat down, we did the math, we crunched the numbers. I think so we could cover it between us. Right? So we've got 25 packs each, and
great.
We'll just split down the middle. And if Gio gets the promo card, I'll just kill him in his sleep or something. And
wait, do you get the promo card from the pack? Or is it an actual thing that you get for buying 50 packs?
I think it's
during
one of the packs will have it in.
period.
Am I wrong, or do you know, Matt?
No, I think it's like an airdrop that like the other airdrops with Chaos Legion, where you click and say check to see if I'm eligible for this airdrop.
Cool.
And then you'll get it or you won't.
So we'll each get
All right.
But I mean,
25 packs.
your
and
50
plus-
packs will they'll make you eligible for all of the different Rift Watchers airdrops. That's the thing. So you won't just be that first one. You'll also get
Yeah.
each of them.
The second
which
one,
it's fun.
maybe,
Like it's exciting. There's a dopamine. Well, yeah, you've got a chance at each of them. It's like a,
Yeah, but it's a guarantee.
whatever.
The first one though, isn't it? For the 50 packs.
I'm not sure. I did because I wasn't engaging. I didn't read up too much on Rift Watch.
I think it was, Bob. I think
Yeah.
the first one, like Blight, whoever made that number of packs gets at least one of,
Yeah.
one of whatever the pack limit was for it to be assured that
Yeah.
you would get a Blight.
So we'll own a promo card between the two of us. So we can sell it,
Yeah.
rent it, or just buy the other one out. Whatever. No, it doesn't. I mean,
You could go halves in buying one off the market and then just take one each. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you're both finding you're enjoying it, just go halves in buying one outright. It's a funny old. I hear exactly what you're saying. Like you go, I'll just let this one go through to the keeper, and then So the morning after Rift Watches, I woke up and straight onto my bleary-eyed, I'm like there on my phone on Discord because I'm a degen. Let's be honest. Well, what's going on with Splinterlands? How'd the Rift Watches sale go? And I pulled up my phone and Aggie's on there talking and hyping and all that and talking about how we sold out Rift Watches. I wasn't trying to engage with this and all that. And then he said, and there's only 16 licenses left in Tranche 1.
Yeah.
And I went, I've been saving up for TD and whatever else. Hang on. And I had like 53,000 SPS from various different bits and pieces that I'd been sort of saving up for a big. And then that was the previous night. I'd spent 20,000 SPS or something on buying a license, my third license. And then when I woke up and there's only 16 left, I was like, I could buy one just in the last, maybe I can data downstairs, whipped open my laptop, and because 16 license isn't going to last long. And you're all hoping that like the SPS climbs, right? And then if you can get in, just before Tranche 1 ends, when SPS is as high as it's going to be in Tranche 1, then you're getting the cheapest, the best price. And so a lot of people are doing that. Dived on it. And I got one that was like the 14th left. I sat there watching them. I thought, I do have, I did buy one for 16,000, but I've got another 17,000 SPS. I do have the vouchers on hand. They're ticking down. It was a good buy a minute ago. Why is it not a good buy now? And I just, and just bought my fifth. So I bought my fifth license, and then I sat there looking at it going, how am I going to buy TD now? So now I'm checking down the side of the couch cushions, going, where am I? Do I sell a plot? Do I move some things around? So yeah, that's been fun. I think they need to give us at least a week, so that if we FOMO hard into something, we've got a chance to unstake some SPS to then, because I've got all this staked SPS that I could just unstake just a bit of it and then jump in on TD. But it's like 4-day gap. Like, it's not long enough. What am I going to do? So good fun.
Well, that's one thing with my part. Back we talked about previously when, like, especially that episode of Town Hall when Matt was saying that here's a really good reason to keep staking. Here's another really good reason to unstake. It was like, what do I do? So I unstaked 2K, and I decided at that point, well, that's it for Rift Watchers. There's no unstaking anything more, or if I make a decision on something, it's solid. So I've still got 600 left for individual cards. So
nice.
I spent 1,400 on the packs and plus vouchers, but I've still got 15 vouchers as well. So
I've still got to give you 5 as well. It's 5 short. So
like I said, as you earn it, man, there's no rush for it. Don't like buy them or anything. Just as you earn them. So so it's good that like I spent 14 of 1.4 of the 2. So I still got 600 for Rift Watchers. So I'm still within my budget and still get to buy some cards. So
nice. And there's the chance of the airdrops too. So
yes.
I think you know, you can tie yourself up in knots about did I do the right thing, buying this or selling that, whatever. Ultimately, being here is winning, right? We're not in fiat. We're not looking at, oh, well, should I buy shares in AMP or BHP? Like, we're not. We're actually here where the action is and doing the interesting things. Just by being here, we're winning, right? And so
Yeah.
you can't win them all and you can't miss them all. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
just kind
I
of got to
guess
forgive yourself too for some of these things.
with the TD versus Splinterlands, it's like, is this like, do I buy VHS or beta? You know, that was going through my head. Is now if one of them just flunks and that, so, but I just not like I put my money into Rift Watches. That's done. It's done. So yeah, TD is going to have to be a miss.
Yep.
But
for me.
the good thing with like TD and like the actual card game Splinterlands is they're still the same ecosystem, still the same company,
Yeah.
right? It's not like DVD, VH. Yeah, it's not like two
Yeah,
different.
it was a bad
uh,
analogy, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like it's still. I think they just want to branch out to other game types to just stay relevant. They just want to stay relevant in this space. They want to grow, and to grow, you have to reach out to different interests that others may have. So I think this is just the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what's next, right?
Oh, that's
It's also
something
about
too. I was saying now that we had Mr. Rogers on the show and he mentioned that he's actually going to Splinterfest. We're gonna have to
Mm.
get onto him about the cosplay. We're totally gonna have to get him into. We've got to get on his back hardcore, and we want photo because he's going to do some roving reporting for us on scene. So
yeah.
we've got to get him into the cosplay side of it.
But what
That'd be
do we do? What do
wonderful.
we? Child of the Forest.
Ooh,
It's a bit of an ask, isn't it? Who's
it is.
Actually,
do you know Shannon?
why don't we make it a competition? Every week, like the person who writes a comment generates the most gets 10% of the post rewards. What about this week? We'll make it the best idea for cosplay for Mr. Rogers. And whoever comes up with the best
Perfect.
idea will get
Perfect.
10%. And we'll validate that if there's a few options, just upvote or comment the comment that you like. And yeah, you'll get 10% of the post rewards.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. All right. Gio can't wait because we're both, Gio and I are both in the same guild as Mr. Rogers as well in the Aegis of Glory. So
He's old. He's old.
yeah.
Jablonski or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have to put some pressure on getting into the cosplay. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you got an
Sure.
idea, and if you don't know who we're talking about, just was it 2 episodes ago? We had
Ooh, I don't know.
no Melon.
All I know is,
because we had Almighty Melon too. So 3
yeah.
episodes ago. So 38. If you check out episode 35, that's Mr. Rogers. Or it'll be in the title anyway. And yeah, give us some ideas. How should he cosplay?
He'll thank us later. Seriously, he'll thank us later because if you do come dressed up in that, in whatever,
Yeah,
you
get the
do get
promo.
extras. Yeah, you
Yeah.
you get some extra things like
Yeah.
it's cool.
Absolutely.
It's really
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah. Anyway, I dived in with that as you were about to say something, Matt.
No, I've forgotten what I was going to say now. The cosplay thing.
You were geoed.
Yeah, the cosplay thing. I remember once ages ago, Carrie Allen, who used to be one of the law, she and her husband Chris Roberts were law masters, and she dressed up as Spirit of the Forest, and it was really good and absolutely adorable. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing some cosplay when they mentioned it on the town hall. When Nate mentioned it at the town hall, I was like, yes, that's so cool. I'd love to see some of that. So I think if I'm ever going to hit the gym, it would be out of a desire to sort of mimic that flesh column physique. People have said to me, "Oh, you're going to get a flesh column tattoo or something like that." And I've said, "Oh, I don't know. Like that's that's a fanboy thing to do, but it's not like a serious wealthy man thing to do. You know, Warren Buffett doesn't have all his, you know, BlackRock tattoos or anything else like that. I'm like, maybe not, but if I could mimic the physique, like if I had the flesh columns, then I would definitely follow that up with some sort of a tattoo.
And it'd be no point.
Yeah.
There'd be no point having a competition. What's Matt going to go as?
You know who's buff is Dicko. He's been on the show before. He's quite a unit. I reckon he'd make a decent flesh column.
We'll ask him.
Well, he's not going to Splinterfest, but maybe
I'll get him dragged to the meet up one day.
One day.
Yeah. Just as a curiosity. Oh man. But you know, for real, I reckon like Nate, that was a really cool thing that he said. The whole cosplay thing. Like, he's one of my favorites, to be honest. Like, just the creative sides of I don't know, he's just the most fun. Yeah. So good. And the cards from Rift Watchers are pretty amazing as well, right?
That's what I was thinking.
There's
like,
some
what was
bangers in there.
Cryptomancer's business card. How dope was that?
The hairline I noticed was a little bit forward. I was looking at the picture.
That was the only thing.
Very generous of Nate to he brought it. It's only a couple of inches, but it was enough that you were looking for it. Says me with my full head here.
Yeah. I've got mine. My headset sort of.
Yeah.
Takes care of mine for me. It's like a hairband.
Yeah. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. You watch my RNG drop now in brawls. I'm like, why can't I win a brawl anymore?
You could just,
he's in my guild too. So
my
guild.
Any idea what you were about to say before I jumped in with the cosplay?
Nah, I got nothing. No. I think just tower defense. I think is going to be. That's what I was going to say. It's not just about, hey, let's reach out because Splinterlands is like needs more players or anything like that. I think it's much easier to find Hearthstone streamers like Ali, who's been great, and just go, let's just find 10 of them rather than build a new game to build the ecosystem. But I think this is about demonstrating the interoperability of games built on Hive and games built in the Splinterlands sort of world. And so as people, like with crypto, you don't really get it until you've done a few transactions, right? It's kind of up in the air, and like it's the same with Bitcoin. Everybody says the same thing. My first Bitcoin, I understood it, but I didn't really get it. But then when I did it, and I was like, wow, I've just done this thing. It's actually real. Like there's a certain level of, and so we all kind of know that, okay, Hive Keychain will let me play other games if need be. And maybe you muck around with DCity or something along those lines. But the idea that there's now a suite of games that you can engage with, and you can move assets between using tribal decks or not, or staking cards from this game into this game and getting benefits from it. It's a proof of concept for the entire idea of having all of this. And I think it's almost like it's like a kiddie pool way too of maybe ironing out any kinks with that process before GLS launches, because that's a big piece, right? So GLS, Genesis League is a Genesis League Soccer is that's the front runner, right, to the idea of expanding this game style in this ecosystem on this blockchain to a whole world of different games and teams and leagues, different sports. And so I think GLS is the proof of concept for that. But I think TD is the proof of concept for having multiple games within the Splinterlands world, and lessons learnt in the small TD, well-managed, well-known, well-controlled ecosystem, full of mostly people that love the game, care about the devs. Like it's an easy win, right? You do tower defense right, and then you learn those lessons, and then you apply those lessons to GLS, then you learn those lessons in GLS and you apply them to the entire Genesis League for all of the different sports, right? So it's about taking those lessons that we've learned. And there is so much that our devs have learned over the years of building economies through this game. Mistakes that they've made, things that they've got really right, things that they've got really wrong, all of that experience and most of the code, it's all there, it's all ready to go. So why would you waste that and say, oh, we've got all this experience building this thing and now we're just going to continue to tweak this thing? Why not say, well, now that we've got all these tools and all this experience, we can just go and apply this is the back end. We get other people to build the front end, and we already get the back end sorted. And now you've got a game that's out of the blue, got 400,000 registered accounts, Tower Defense, and we can say, hey, come build your game here. Look how easy it is. We'll give you all these tools to bolt on. Here's the back end, the entire back end for you. You build the front end, and look at this. This game launched, it already had 400,000 players. They've got logins, they've got money, they've got interest, right? You just build your own economy, build your game, use our tools, use our experiences and insights, or your own, peddle your wares and see how you go. And I think that is when we really start to boom, when the entire ecosystem explodes.
It's almost like
applying lessons.
It's almost like creating a new way how to do like Steam or Origin. It's just a new way of that. Get everyone on board this platform where all these other games are, but with the crypto related, and that's, I think that could be real interesting to have like a powerhouse like that in crypto, right?
It's almost like going from your and like you said, like Steam, STEAM. It's almost like saying, okay, I've got my DVD collection over there, but now I've got Netflix and I'm just signed in once, right? I'm just signed in once, and then I can just pick what movie I want to watch. And my preferences carry over, and it watches what I'm doing and makes suggestions.
Perfect.
And I'm just got that one login. And instead of walking over to the DVD player, picking through the list, I've seen all these. Okay, I pull one out, put it in, swap the other one out. Instead of that, you've got this new shift. I don't want to say paradigm shift because it's such a corporate, but you've got this completely new way. And until you've experienced Netflix, you're like, oh, is it really better than, what if this, what if that? And the technology needed to get to a point that made that available. But when it did, then the masses arrived and went, yes, let's just embrace this.
And that's what Hive is essentially.
Exactly. We're heading to that tipping point.
That's what Hive is. It's basically what Hive can be as well.
Yeah. And this is this Splinterlands is like, it's like saying, okay, we've got Netflix and we've got movies. Now let's add TV shows, right? Now let's add Tower Defense. Now let's add documentaries, just to really show people what you get with the single sign-on. Right? Just throw value at them, throw flexibility and options at them.
Yeah,
absolutely. I see that.
I was wondering too, when you were talking about like, as a testing ground for GLS, and thinking like some of the stuff to come out yet with Splinterlands, and like Tower Defense, is that still taking place within Pretoria?
So within the law of Pretoria, we're all battle mages, right? We're battle mages that live in Pretoria. And when we have some downtime and we're relaxing, we play a game, like a board game called Tower Defense, right? So it's a game that we're playing. It doesn't have any real world implications. But it's like we're gambling SPS kind of against each other. It's a source of like SPS rewards is that you play this game and you make some SPS, which has real world value in Pretoria. But that's where it fits from a law perspective. So you're a battle mage playing the game yourself.
Yeah. All
So
right.
don't expect that the path between these three towers will actually then be represented in land, because land is at a different scale. All of this is happening on your coffee table, in your armory, in your swampland.
Gotcha. So that does answer it, because I was going down the wrong track, because I was thinking, because PVE, land, this like So yeah, you answered that well.
And there's a
Cheers.
lot of stuff that's going to get, there's a lot of stuff that'll get added to TD over the course of next year. But
Yeah.
I think it was Nate said it. It's very, very clear. It's been mentioned a couple of times that it's all happening like that. So
Yeah.
I think you're right, Matt. I think all of this, TD and other stuff, I think somehow in some way it will be implemented into land to make the journey easier into land. I think skills learnt here and there will be used to forward the development of land. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think there's. No, well, I just think it's. I keep coming back to the NASCAR example, the motor racing example, where there's jobs, there's ways of earning that we've not imagined yet. To be the guy selling hot dogs outside in the car park. That's not something that the original guys who started motor racing really envisaged. And I think there might be people who watch. They'll say, okay, I'm going to watch the last 100 of your tower defense games, assuming that they're recorded or can be seen. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm going to watch your last 100 games and tell you where you're going wrong in tower defense, right? I'm going to be your coach, your personal trainer, just for tower defense. And if there's deep enough pockets out there, people that really want to get good at that or this or GLS or any of the other options that we have, then I could see there being people, and that's their full-time job, is just coaching other players in how to do that. Just like there's soccer coaches, just like there's people that teach other people how to do spin classes, personal trainers. So
Yeah.
And that's I imagine the tip of the iceberg. When the money arrives, then just like a city growing, right? There's a gold rush, people come, they're there for one thing, but then the saloon owner arrives and the whorehouse opens up, and then there's the milliner to make hats because people want hats, right? So the ecosystem expands, and then before you know it, there's I thought this was a gold mining town, but actually no, it's now all of these different things. So I think we're barely able to imagine how big this thing's going to get. I love it.
Yeah. And then there's that on management, that platform that they were talking about towards the end, where like key management, so you can actually have some sort of management without risking your keys. So a bit of that went over my head, but
No,
just shows that's
that's
another.
okay. Capital.dow, that was the fellow talking about that. Sam, I think. Sam from Capital.dow.
Yeah.
That was fascinating, and I think that's flown under the radar. He's saying we'll add another step in the middle. So you can come to us, and we won't ask for your keys, but you need to set up with us, and we will let you assign managers who assign your assets to players.
Yep.
So it's another step removed. At the moment, you can kind of delegate one step. You can say, well, I'm going to delegate to you and you play, but if I've got 1,000 players all playing on my cards, I need to manage 1,000 relationships, and I can't hire somebody to do that without trusting him with all my keys and the keys to the kingdom. So they're saying that in order to scale, if we really want the deep pockets to arrive, there needs to be an option where people can go, I'm going to throw $10 million into this game and buy an obscene amount of assets, and I'm going to have 5 different managers run all those assets for me and run all of the players using those assets. So it's about scale. From a technical perspective, I have no idea how they're planning to do it.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
But that's another shop that's just opened up on the main street of that Gold Town.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the train coming through, bringing goods from wherever, and wealthy people who wouldn't have made the trip on horseback. But now that there's a passenger train, they go, okay, I'll go and arrive now and see what's going on.
Yeah, great analogy. Yeah.
There's clearly more in the works, and more than what we see, that they're thinking about or have thought about, and will sooner or later reveal and talk to amongst themselves.
And analogies within analogies. I've thought of another one, like your battle mage off hours example. Like 2 of your flesh golems, they just finished guard duty and they're having an arm wrestle in the cafe. arm wrestling contest between you flesh column guards.
Yeah.
All right, on
You
that,
don't want to
we've
rip a
got-
finger off. I don't know how well they're sewn on, those fingers.
Yeah, I was about to say one would rip off the arm of the other. So I guess that would be the winner, whoever's holding the other arm. You know?
I don't know which movie it was. The guy orders a lobster, and like it comes with only one claw. It's like, well, bring me the winner. You know, it's like you got in a fight. Bring me the winner. All right, so on like we covered the promo cards and like the rifts and like Matt, you mentioned earlier like Jasek's almost there. What's the latest
Almost with
stats
us.
on that?
He's on the horizon. We've got 25,309 packs, and normally in those last 50,000, 100,000 packs, they just fly off the shelf because people want to get in before the airdrop. But there are so many things to buy at the moment that previously it's just been there's packs, right? There might be packs, and there's also orbs that you could buy with deck or something. But now there are so many different options where, okay, yeah, you could buy the packs, but then you could also be buying licenses, right? Saving up for licenses, throwing your money at that. Tranche 1 just ended. Let's have a look at tranche 2, see how we're... So we've got 4,997 licenses remaining in tranche 2. So there's already been 3 licenses sold out of the second tranche, where the vouchers are worth $5 each, right? A $5 discount for each voucher off the purchase price. And so I think with that, with Tower Defense, with Rooney, with Rift Watchers, there are so many different things to buy at the moment that I think people have kind of loaded up. They're loaded up on Chaos Legion. Like the player base has the cards that they want. I got 5,000 packs that are just sitting there. So I kind of feel like we either need to have a 10 minutes where there's not some new massive sale, just to let some accumulation happen, or we need to massively expand the user base again, which in the past we've had problems with scaling, but I think now we've got on top of that, and now it's time to really step that up a notch and see what we can do about it. And I know Chatter's got doing great things with marketing and SEO. Ali Strazer's been great with her bringing her community along, running tournaments and the like. So we'll get there. It's just, I think, a bit of a pause for a breather with getting Jasek out there.
So you
Everyone's spread thin.
Yep. Sorry, Bob.
So your 5,000 chaos packs, are they purely for hodling for down the track, or do you have like a plan for them?
I don't really have a plan. No, I kind of bought them because I wanted to get the airdrops, because I'd noticed that a lot of these airdrop cards, I want to max them, and they're cards that will often shoot up in value. I found with the Llama and Jodin was, I guess, where I learned that. I've only got like a level 1 Jodin. My Jodin game is very, very weak. So I maxed my Llama before he shot up, but there's always a fear in my mind that if I don't get the cards airdrop to me, these new wonderful legendary summoners, if I don't get them airdrop to me, I might have to pay through the nose to max them. And if I only get halfway there from the airdrops, then I'm at the mercy of the market, right? Where I have to then pay whatever the market says it's worth. It might be $200 per BCX. So I'd rather get in front of that and say, well, look, I'm going to get sufficient packs to make sure that I'm getting enough of each of the legendary summoners that I can max one, so that then I don't have to worry about it anymore. And then obviously I've got the packs to hold. I have options. I can sell them down the track, or I can pop them open. And when you've got 2,000 plots of land, as I do, having too many cards is hardly going to be, it's not going to come up, right? Not only can I throw them on the rental market, but I'm also going to need them for land. So if need be, I can sell off some packs, maybe wait a year until Chaos Legion's sold out, and then when they've tripled or gone 10x, then go, okay, well, I'm just going to take some profits there, turn that into cards, additional plots, whatever. But my thinking has been, if I have the packs there, then I have the cards that are in them, and then I've got the summoners that I might need I've got a big body of bodies to throw at my land when that becomes available. So, yeah.
And you know, you can only open like one pack at a time. Click, drop, click, drop,
Nah.
click, drop
200.
5,000 times.
Now you can do 200 at a time.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Yeah.
I've
You've
never
got the
had that
potions for
problem.
them, so I've just been waiting to, and it's good because I get potion now. I'm delighted to get potions in my chests, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm cool. I can open another 10 packs because I have 50 potions of each. So yeah, but and it's nice to see that big, 5,000 of them sitting there and think, man, they're like $4 each. I got 20 grand worth of stuff just sitting there. It's just insane. The more you think about these numbers, the more it just gets surreal and weird.
So why haven't you opened them
Seems it.
already?
Why haven't I opened them?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was waiting until after the airdrop finished, and then I'm just, I guess, waiting until I get potions to
You
open
want
them and
all of
make
them
sure I get the
released,
maximum
don't you?
benefit
To
from
maximize the possibility of
course.
having them in the packs, of course.
them.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
And I mean, I could buy potions, but we get so many in the by playing. And as soon as I opened all my Chaos Legion packs, I guarantee then what am I going to do? All my potions are just going to start stacking up. So I'm kind of,
Yeah.
I figure, well, I'll eat through them at the same time. And I guess I'm losing out on rental returns while I'm not, while my cards are just sitting there in the packs. I'm missing out on those rental returns from not opening them. But then would I combine them? Try to pull together max copies so I can then put them on the rental market. If I do that, am I then committing to having max copies, far fewer max copies when I want to put some of these cards on land? I like having my options open, so they're just sitting there.
Yeah.
See how many I have open, and the kids like to open them every now and then when I have enough. Yeah, 5,286. So
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a fair amount.
it is, yeah. Well, and I think I bought 4,000 originally, and then I got down to 3,000, kept opening them, and then I bought another couple of thousand not too long ago, just because I wanted to make sure I had enough to get that Yasik airdrop.
Yeah, look, I really do think if you have the capital, packs and the airdrop cards are the way. I really do think so. If you can buy
Like,
that amount to,
Yeah, I got some no coiners that have asked me, how do we get into crypto? And I've said to them, time and again, go to Splinterlands, buy packs, right? Save up credits until you've got enough to do a bulk buy. I'll give you the vouchers. These are outsiders, so it's like I'll just give you the 100 vouchers, and then you'll get the bonus, and then just don't lose your keys. Just sit on them for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And they might only go 5x in 3 years. They might only go 5x, but it's that or 1% per annum in the bank.
Yeah.
So, and the good thing is with packs, I don't have to get the DMs on Facebook. Hey, what's going on with the price of that token you told me to buy? It's down 7%. It's like, it doesn't matter with packs because the expectation's there that, okay, I'm buying them now. I'm just gonna, and so I think one or two of them have actually pulled a airdrop card. They're like, what do I do with this card? I don't know, sell it, buy more packs, put it on the rental market, whatever you like. But
Yeah.
that's just an extra little added bonus. It's really just all about the cards, about the packs.
Well, Jack had mentioned in Discord earlier today that Untamed has just had a huge bump up from $28 to $60 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It does happen. And if you want to watch that and time it, then why not? And this is where I'm thinking, like, these friends of mine who are buying Chaos Legion, so they wait 3 years, right? Sell them, and then what are they going to use that money for? Well, they're going to buy the current packs, right? But 5 times as many. And now instead of having 500 packs, now they've got 2,500 packs. And then 3 years later, when those packs are worth, now they've, and so it becomes
Compounding.
an easy compounding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have shot up, haven't they? Oh, right. It's saying 20. I can see that they did, but I think they've normalized now. I think people have sold into it.
Well, hey, Bob, remember when we checked the rentals, right? The highest ones that we're renting for, at least on my list and cards that I have, were the Untamed edition.
Yeah.
No idea why, but they had the highest returns, like crazy returns compared to the others.
Yeah. Yeah. And even just like level ones, 20 deck a day. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And look, I don't have any alpha beta, so I can't use that as a comparison. I didn't even look, so I don't
Yeah.
know. But at least for the modern sets, Untamed, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dice was when I first started, and that was with a conversation with Matt. It never ever occurred to me before to why would you not open a pack? You know, so I started with the dice, and once I got 3 packs, they sold out. So I decided with Chaos Legion, I want to have at least 10. And every time it's a new pack, I'm just going to hold 10.
It's something, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
It's something.
It's a good strategy.
yeah,
I can't really hold packs, so I just I open packs and look, the packs, cards. I mean, I like it all, man. I just try to stay basic at the moment. I just want to focus on playing the game to the best of my ability and having good cards to make certain rule sets easier for me. And I think me buying the certain cards that I see fit for those rule sets in time, I'll get enough cards to accommodate for my success in a match, in a game, in this game. Yeah, just want to have fun and be not super competitive because it's not what I want, but
yeah,
I just want to be doing well enough.
Yeah.
Which I'm not doing too bad, but I could always do better, right? If I had particular cards. And since I'm only started from, well, CL, the Chaos Legion packs, then my limit, I have limited options, and I'm doing okay, even just with that.
yeah.
So
But
the next set's gonna
even
come
your
out, I'm
skill
gonna do
level,
better.
man.
The next set's gonna come out,
Yeah,
gonna do even better then. So yeah, man, that's how I'm looking at it.
yeah.
I'm not
I mean, from
stressing.
the time that you onboarded to I mean, like you're sitting at number 1 in the guild for brawls at the moment, 2 weeks in a row.
Oh,
Yeah,
nah, well, I'm number
your
2 now.
skill level's pretty impressive, man. Just for
Oh,
the time
I
that
don't
you've
do
been
too
into the
bad.
game.
Again, I'm not super competitive, but I just like to be at the just under that, where I don't have to pull out my hair, although I don't have much to pull
You've
out at
already
the
done
moment.
it,
But yeah. I just want to be under that threshold where I don't have to, worry about like having the best cards, forking out for exclusive cards, and so on, so forth. I don't want to be part of that rat race. Just want to be
yeah.
right under.
And you got a good eye too for cards. Like when you've
Not
you've
bad.
messaged me and you said, "Hey Bob, check this one out." It's always done well.
Yeah.
So I think you got a good
Well,
eye
so
for the
far,
cards. Yeah.
so far.
I'm looking
I
forward to
don't
the
want to
time when it's about having a good eye for players.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm not worrying so much about battling all the time, maybe just doing guild brawls and getting a chest a day, just to keep the scrolls coming in for the guild. But when it's about watching matches, looking at the leaderboard, finding some guy who's maybe new, doesn't have a lot of support, and staking SPS on him, and then watching him really flourish, or being wrong and watching him nosedive. I think there's those levels to it where there's, on one hand, it's about identifying good cards, and then it's another thing is about identifying people who identify good cards, right? Good strategies. There's somebody like Geo, right? So he's performing now. I would love to be in a position where he'd go, I'm just going to stake 50k on Geo, and when he wins, I win, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Reminds me of something you did in the Navy. This is the 80s, mind you, right? And when we get to the end, I'll ask your opinion. We can always edit it out if whatever. But when we put, like, this is the 80s, and we'd regularly pull into Manila in the Philippines or Bangkok in Thailand, and the ship used to run something called the VD stakes, and you would have a horse and a jockey, and the horse was usually someone brand new on the ship, like the youngest no 17 or 18-year-old, they're new on the ship, and
Fresh meat.
yep, and the jockey is an old salt. Someone's been around for a while, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you'd have to bet, and this is like real money. You'd bet on who's going to actually get a case while they're there, right? I mean, this is the 80s. This is before AIDS or anything like that. The worst that could happen was gonorrhea. You go to sick bay, you get a shot of penicillin, right? And the jockey's job was to take it to the dirtiest, sleaziest pubs, get them as drunk as possible, take them to the cheapest brothels, and then yeah, you would bet on there's an actual pool. So you might bet on the gullibility of the horse, or you might bet on the knowing and the seasonability of the jockey to make sure that he takes him to the right places. This sort of like staking your SPS on a player, isn't it? Of a sort.
And half of those guys are wandering around now in the shopping centre wearing a mask, going, "Go and get your injections. Wear your mask." You see, bloody, is it Gene Simmons from KISS saying, "Oh, if you don't get vaccinated, you're not taking my health seriously," or something. It's like, this is a man who's bragged about unprotected sex with 5,000 women over the last few decades. And I'm the pandemic. I'm the risk to.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I think my biggest disappointment from that industry is Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, fuck you. I won't do what you tell me, but go get your fucking jab.
It's like 100%. You can't come to us and watch us while you haven't had, your vaccine.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's,
we found out who was real in the last couple of years, haven't we?
Well, that's just it, right? Like, cash and fame and all of that, having that community, that you want to keep. I can understand why at those echelons, those levels, people would, and just like throw everything aside and just be like, look, I'm just gonna fucking do it. I'm just gonna do it, Although, like as you said, it totally goes against, the freedom that they were talking about and rapping about, and it's sort of a what would you call it?
Sellout.
It's very
soul crushing.
Yeah. Hypocritical.
Hypocritical. Yeah.
Hypocritical.
It is. Anyway, no, my only advice I remember in the army, they said if you, and I wasn't in the army for long enough to worry about any of this stuff, but I just remember the advice they gave. The VD advice was if you're hooking up with a lady of ill repute, that you should wear 2 condoms with a layer of Denka rub in the middle. So if one of them breaks, one of you knows about it.
Yeah.
Hey, two times protection. Is better than 1 layer. That's why the 4 masks work just way more better, right?
Yeah.
I've actually seen a resurgence of masks in my area at the moment when I go to the shops, and when we were at the coffee shop the other day, last week, like, there's a resurgence of masks. Like, seriously, what's going on?
It's a fashion trend, Bob. It's just in there. It just has its waves where people, it's cool and hip to wear it,
And just think, like, 5 years ago, if you're going into the bank with one of those on, they probably would have, the security at the front door would have made you take it off before it let you in.
Personally, I don't even want to look at most people's faces. So just wear the mask. It's cool. It's absolutely fine by me. Like, you do that. You do you.
Yeah. How did we slide down that slope so fast?
Yeah, I don't know. So Splinterlands.
Yes.
Splinterlands.
Yes.
I'm looking at the SPS price and just thinking, when are you gonna start creeping up? Because it's ebbed and flowed. We're currently at 7.5 cents, that's about sort of, yeah, I kind
Where
of
is
feel like
that?
it's,
It's like
Where
the
it's been?
Yeah.
18K level of Bitcoin.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's the bottom, but it's just, well, I mean, we've been quite a bit lower, but I just feel like there's so much stuff going on, and they do keep announcing, I guess, new use cases for SPS, and I do wonder what's going to happen when it comes out for ranked rewards and brawls. You know, so there's more entering the ecosystem.
And all that
But
Rift
it's going
Watches
largely.
SPS, that's all getting burnt.
Mhm. No, I think most of it's going to the DAO. Some of it's getting burnt, but most of it's going to the DAO, which is
Okay.
it's kind of locked up in a way because there's no proposals to spend it all at all, as far as I'm aware yet. But that just means controlled by the current SPS stakers. So it's I don't know how you'd categorize that, but yeah, I think
Funding.
It's a lot of it is about if SPS brawl rewards are going to people who have assets in the game and at that long-term vision, then I can't imagine too much of that SPS is going to get sold, right? So it's as long as the new SPS is going to people that are going to want to stake it and sit on it and stockpile it and all that, then it's not too big a drama. But for the price, but we're just going to have to wait and see. These are very smart cookies, and they're in it for the long term, right? As am I.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned a proposal for extra SPS rewards for people that are staking for a longer time, like have an optional 12-month staking period where you can lock in your SPS for that, or even assets
APY.
that you lock them down for a year and get more of a benefit from that. And I don't know if that got any traction, but we'll just have to wait and see.
I like that. So you have like variable, where you can like, it's a stake, you stake, but for less return, but you can take out whenever. Then you got a 6-month stake and a 12-month stake. I think each of those
Tiers.
tiers of commitments have its place. I really do think that. I really do think so.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the crypto apps like, Crow, for example, they offer you like 3-month, 6-month or 12-month
Exactly.
staking options
for the
for,
multiplier.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally staking like an ADA asset, MAUD, for 12 months because I got it from an airdrop. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna put it in here and just get more of it. I don't give a shit. I got this shit for free.
Hive Power was originally staked for 104 weeks. So the first time I powered up, it's about 5,000 HP, was for 104
Awesome.
weeks. It was a two-year power down, and then they changed it obviously to 13 weeks. But yeah,
sweet.
Okay. Oh.
So any good strategies? Who's come across some good strategies recently?
I've been
Not really
using your well, I don't have a lot of scavengers, but I've actually leveled up my cube a bit, but
Cube life.
where I've been compensating is so like low mana, little league, earthquake, noxious gas when it's available of going death, because I've got the rift wing, the cube. Well, you can't use the cube in little league. But I've got two life sappers that are under 4 mana. So chucking those guys in. There's a 7 mana one as well who hits for 3 magic damage.
Lich.
Yeah, I think it is something like that.
The Lich King, the King Lich,
the
whatever.
green one, sort of greeny, sort of hazy sort of dude. But even at Little League, there's 2 life sappers and a rift wing. And just going for just do as much damage with the front cards as possible. And then the chook and the fiend just to feed the rift wing. Yeah, and that's been working pretty well.
Yeah. And then by the time your scavenge cards get to the front, right, there's just this big roadblock. So your damage dealers at the back can really, it's great.
Exactly.
Actually, I do have. Sorry for cutting you off, Bob. I do have one sort of play that I use very often now. So in Fog of War and Enraged, Void Dragon up front, and just a whole lot of speed behind him, and just hope they don't use any opportunity. If they don't, you're almost guaranteed to win.
Why?
Or they
Explain
don't
the-
use true shot. If they got something with true shot, you're in trouble. But they need 2 or 3 cards with true shot to keep.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So explain the reasoning though for people. Why you've been doing that?
Well,
Is it
because
guaranteed to
fog
win
of
almost
war-
every time? How is it winning every time?
because no one's attacking you with sneak. Hence, if they don't have opportunity, then what I just said, you're pretty okay. And the enrage just makes Void Dragon so quick, and he has phase, he has void, and he has flying. So he's just an evasive dude, you know. And because in gold he's doing one attack, right? So whenever someone like reflects that back at him, he's got no, like, he's not taking any of the
Doesn't hurt him.
damage, nothing.
Yeah.
It's really unless they have amplify. But again, there's just a few exceptions, right? But I feel like it's a really good rule set that you don't have to worry about a lot of other abilities. I feel like it really minimizes the amount of abilities to take that team out. That Void Dragon.
I had a everybody has enraged match earlier today, and it was 14 mana. It was everybody has enrage and close range, so first position. And so I gambled that they wouldn't have any magic cards, and I put in Llama and Spirit of the Forest. So they had all of their slots filled, and I just had that one slot filled. But when Spirit of the Forest got hit, she got enraged, and she was already last stand. So the speed was just ridiculous, right? And they had arrows, but they're not hitting her at all. And so I just chopped through them one at a time, one after the other, and it's that enrage rule set, right? Like taking advantage of it. For me, Elmo Cambio is a go-to. When as soon as I see enrage, I'm like, well, I got Elmo there. He's got all of that dodge and speed and phase, so he can't get, can dodge magic as well. But there's a new, I can never remember the name of it. The slap backslash. When you miss somebody and it hurts the person that tried to attack. The backlash.
Yeah, like wrist fling.
Yeah.
Misfire. Backfire.
Misfire. Yeah.
Backfire.
Anyway, there's one of the Rift Watchers summoners will give that to all of the cards, and I'm thinking as soon as I see an enrage rule set, then all you need Aquatus. That's it. Enrage rule set. All you need to do is put Elmo up the front, right?
Wow.
And then stack even more speed behind him, and every attacker on their team is going to miss him and take damage. Miss him, take damage. Miss him, take damage. And you can win a completely peaceful match where they just get completely wiped out. If they don't anticipate this and use a lot of true shot, right? They're just not going to be able to hit him. So, I think the possibilities to go in that direction are fascinating. The ones that have been driving me nuts at the moment are these the new shield, reflection shield ability. The Kinjo Tidebiter. I lost to 3 teams the other day in a row with Tidebiter in second position.
Amazing card.
Yeah.
And I lost one today with Venator Kinjo in second position. It was a unlimited trample, so stampede. My exploding dwarf has wiped out the card in front of him, and if he'd just taken enough blast damage to strip his shield, his one shield off, he would have then hit Kinjo and done blast damage to the next card, stripped their shield off, and just done the full run. But just that one shield on Kinjo, because he had the reflection shield, was enough to completely kill my momentum, and I didn't get the win.
Yeah.
Stop the chain.
Yep.
I had a game today actually with the blast rule set, and I played Earth, and I put my the magic taunt card with 9 mana or something. Put that in first position, so everyone has to go for that. Vinto in the second position, 0, 0, 0, 0. And I thought this will go well.
Yeah.
And then when the other team loaded, they had the same taunt card. What's his name?
Hmm.
The green, the earth
Slip
taunt.
spawn.
Slipstream.
Right. The other
Slip
team, they
spawn.
had the same card,
Yeah.
but they put him in the middle of the back row at a blast
No.
rule set. It was a very
gonna
quick
hurt.
game.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Satisfying
Yeah,
for you though, yeah.
Slipspawn. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's got me though is I've been using the slip spawn in. I'll put Grund up front, and then some speed boosters and the like in the middle, ranged, and then slip spawn right at the back, so that all of their fire, except for their front, maybe second with reach card, are going at the slip spawn, and then Grund is just pounding away like double strike,
Yeah.
hitting hard and fast. And if he kills somebody, he tramples, and it's a The
Yeah.
problem is, since the start of the season, I dropped down to gold, and
What does
in
Grunt
gold,
lose? Because I'm only playing
Well,
Grunt at gold.
no. So this is the thing. It's not about what he loses. In diamond, there are enough heavy hitters, particularly in high mana rule sets, which is when I use this strategy, that when they attack my slip spawn, they trigger her force field because they're doing 5 damage, and so she lasts for ages, right? Because they're hitting her force field
Yeah.
and only doing 1 damage. But in gold, they're only hitting for 4, not 5, and she's just getting
Right.
wiped right out. But my
Yeah.
strategy that I worked in diamond, because they were hitting hard enough, now because my opponents are hitting softer, that strategy is not working anymore. And I keep going, oh, let's do this. Oh, no, hang on, I forgot. And they just melt through the slip spawn.
Yeah.
And then Grund it doesn't have a lot of defense. He's all attack. So, one thing I've had a bit of fun with, though, earlier was I had, just thinking of taunts in the middle, put Magnor in second position with Exploding Dwarf in first. And so they're all firing at him, and Exploding Dwarf can just have free reign, which is good fun because he's a very volatile. If he doesn't come up against somebody attacking Magnor and blasting, and I could put Magnor in the middle or last or something to get past that. But as long as he doesn't hit thorns, he can really tear through a team. That Exploding Dwarf is nobody steps up and kills him. So I'm gonna experiment a bit more with Magnor and Exploding Dwarf together. Use Magnor to divert their fire and Exploding Dwarf to really hit home.
Yeah.
It's smart, man. Like even slip spawn with like as you were saying in the blast rule set, you put like reflect
Reflect
to stop
shield.
the blast damage. Yeah, reflect shield. And then you can just put like 2-3 triages or something, just like, healing the dude who's being, who has taunt. And yeah, just put some beefy dude up front and you're good to go. But
I always like to put
this
the taunt in the front position on blast rule set. Because that way the
wherever,
entire back
whichever.
row is all hitting him. And your back row
Yeah,
smashing them. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends what you want. If you want to heal up front, well, you put him up front. And if you want to heal, if you want triage, then you put him in the back.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, by the time this episode comes out, this will be resolved. This brawl will be resolved, so that's fine. I don't mind giving the game away. But in one of the brawls, I wanted to keep my high mana, I think unlimited, and I wanted to keep my gladiator alive as long as possible. He's a reach gladiator on the water team. And so what I've done is I've actually stacked taunt cards. So I've got the last 2 positions are Wave Brood and then Kraken. The idea being they've got to get through one taunt card and then get through the next taunt card while my gladiator is hopefully accumulating his
Bloodlasting.
Where is he? Relinor Cleaver. And he's a decent sort. So he's only got him at level 2, but he's 9 mana and he hits pretty hard, or they're relatively slow.
Yeah.
And so I figure if I think I've got Lobstradamus in front of him for extra hardiness and thorns. But then if Relinor Cleaver can really pound away while they're trying to hit my 2 taunts at the 2 high health taunts at the back, and then by the time they've killed them, hopefully my gladiator's an unstoppable bloodlust beast. But we'll just have to wait and see that. I'm eagerly waiting the results of that that fray. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I've been using my Grund. So go on, Gio.
I just said link that. Link us when you know when you see
I
the
will.
results.
I'll put
If
it
you
in
win,
the. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
yeah.
I'll put the link in the comments of this conversation.
Yeah. I've been using grunt a bit lately, especially like with the protection rule set. Because first hit, bang, down goes their shields, bang. Because there's nothing worse than their shield getting replenished each round, and you got to keep taking the shield down. So along comes going, bang, take out the shield, bang, chunk of health. In fact, on that, we are almost on the clock. So
Wow.
we've got a minute. Anyone got any
Wow.
final words or wrap ups?
Yeah, sure. Synergies with Rift Watchers is just going to be even more awesome. Just the more
Agreed.
sets that come out, the more complex the game gets in Wild, at least. Yeah. Oh,
Alright.
yeah.
Been
And
a pleasure to
remember,
join you again, gents.
this week, Mr. Rogers, we've got to get him into cosplay mode for Splinterfest. Drop your ideas down below. Best one gets the 10% post rewards. Thanks for joining us. Look forward to seeing you on episode 39 on Boba Fett. Peace out.